Hello, good evening everyone. Today is Friday, no? TGIF day, no? Thank God it's Friday. Alam nyo, ang bilis ng mga panahon, no? Just
Good evening, everyone.
it was just very recent na naging Monday yun. And now, weekend na naman tayo, no? And tomorrow, Saturday, isang tulog, Sunday, then another week. Then patapos na rin ang month of May, no? So sadyang napakabilis yung panahon, no? Sadyang napakabilis. And I hope na kahit gaano to kabilis ang days, I hope that each and every one of us are really catching up, no? I hope that's my prayer na lahat po tayo was really able to catch it up. And by the way, if you are already here tonight and if you are tuning in, I would highly encourage if you could really invite few of our friends to join with us here tonight, and most probably your team. And I hope the coaches are here, and also the BDMs are here. I'm really looking forward na they're gonna be joining with us tonight. And if you happen to know anybody that are BDMs, kindly please help me mention them here in the FB group live, so that at least they will be able to join with us, and also the rest of the coaches. No, I hope everyone is here. No, by the way, this topic is personally prepared by no less than our head broker himself, no, HBR. So he did spend a lot of time really crafting this training for us tonight. I will be just your mouthpiece here, no, and um, this is his message to the entire DPPI, and I hope everyone will be able to join with us tonight. Now, there's a lot of changes, ang dami pong mga changes na nangyayari po sa buong mundo since the time po na nag-pandemic tayo. There were so many adjustments. In fact, kahit tayo mismo personally, the way we do our things are changing. School ng mga anak is also changing. The way we handle our day-to-day needs, paano tayo mamili, and there has a lot of changes actually. Ang daming changes. In fact, na notice ko ang mga tao po ngayon are starting to become adapted to the new normal, and I believe na in the next couple of months, everybody will really gonna be on board with the new normal. Although itong sinasabi natin na new normal, last year pa natin itong sinasabi natin na new normal, pero hindi pa rin tayo talaga fully nakapag-adjust dun sa new normal until ngayon nakarating po tayo sa 2021, at unti-unti po tayong nag-a-adjust dun sa tinatawag natin na new normal. And I hope na in line with that, we will be able to fully adjust to the new normal. If you are listening right now, and I believe there are already 23 people inside the live stream. Please, can you help us invite all the rest of our team members? We've got a lot of team members. Every week we have new people in the organization, and I hope na they are here tonight, no? Kasi most likely pag ganitong mga oras tapos na rin tayo mag-dinner And ayun, most of our trainings right now are already done via FB Live, for the sole reason na para mas mabilis po sa atin lahat. Pero yung recruitment talaga ay we will gonna stay there sa Zoom, no? Kasi for confidentiality purposes. But the rest of our trainings and seminars and mga personal natin na mga activity dito sa DPPI, we are already shifting it to the FB group here, dito sa DPPI FB group. And in fact, as we stream tonight, simulcast po ito sa YouTube channel din po natin. So mapapanood din po tayo sa YouTube channel. So if there are anybody that are watching with us there in the channel, in YouTube channel, you can actually make your comments there. Nakikita ko naman yan dito kasi naka-centralize naman yung StreamYard natin, so that all of those comments will be greatly be seen, no? And I hope na i-invite nyo po yung mga downlines nyo, no? I believe all of us already has a lot of downlines, so paki-invite them, no? But before anything else, mag-shout out muna tayo to those people that are here na nag-join sa atin tonight, no? Who are here na ba? Noel Maglasang is here from Danau City. Thank you for joining, Noel. No, I'm so happy that you're here. Si Miss Renita Francisco is also here with us from Lapu-Lapu City. Si Mary Ann Quintinita from Balamban, Cebu. Maricel Sungahid here in Mandaue. Si Ivy Del Andales na from Inglanilla, Cebu is also with us here tonight. Si Josephat Alinghawa is also joining with us here from Toledo City. We have Marilyn Aroba from Toledo City also joining with us tonight. Ay, salamat, naka-join din si Marilyn. Every now and then, I'm really looking for the coaches na makapag-join. Then we have here Jocelyn Abukay is also with us. Who else? We have Mardi Baset, no, is also here tonight. Thank you for joining. And Janice Apa Arong, thank you for joining, Janice. No, I really appreciate our managers are here. No, that's the mark of true managers. No, managers, consultants, and supervisors lead their team. No, that's the way it should be. No, kasi ganun talaga yung mga role ng mga leaders natin. And who are here? Who else? Michelle Calzada is also here. Hello, Michelle from Danau, Cebu City. We have here Lynn Dolugin from Dawis, Bohol. No, from Dawis, Bohol. We have Catrace Saison from here in Mandaue. We have Nancy Batukan is also joining with us here tonight. Who else? We have Christopher Ocleda all the way from Abu Dhabi. No, thank you for joining, Brother Chris. No, then we have here Ma'am Lynette Cristobal from here in Lapu-Lapu City. Then we have Michelle Bidia from Lapu-Lapu City as well. Who else is here? We have Matt Timario. Thank you for joining with us, Matt. Hello, Matt. No. Then we have Raul Ihoranco, no, from San Remigio, Cebu, somewhere bound north. So nagmeet na kami ni Sir Raul. No? We have here Annabel Oxtero Arong. No? Thank you for joining, Annabel. And we have here ang Iron Lady ng DPPI, no? Si Miss Nobeline Alcover. No? Walang kapagod-pagod na nilalang. Walang kapagod-pagod na nilalang. Then, nandito si Teacher Lorena Impas. Nice seeing you, Teacher. Makita-kita tayo on the 29th, Teacher, ha, doon sa Elron Hotel in Balamban, Cebu. Then, we have here, who else? Sino pa bang hindi ko? Jovi Carrasco, no? Jovi Carrasco from Danau City. No? Si Jovi Carrasco from Danau. And who else is here? Hindi ko pa mga nabanggit. Halos nabanggit ko na, no? Jolene, we have here Julen Villejo. Alam mo, parati ko nang nakikita to si Jolene. I'm happy to see that, no? I'm really happy, no? Honestly, Joe, I'm really happy that finally you were able to find time to join with us. And at the same time, I'm so happy that you are starting to build your network, no? Your group. Then, sino pa ba dito? Yan, si Teacher. We have here si Jennifer Alvarez. If I'm not mistaken, Jen is in Saudi Arabia, no? If I'm not mistaken, Jen is from Saudi Arabia. And we have here Cecil Dimapi, no? I went there kanina, nandun sila sa Plumera, nagmaning sila doon sa showroom kasama si Weng. So I went there. Me and Diane went there and visit them there and spent time with them. No, konting chit-chat. Then we have here Ana Lizelle Dano, no, from Tagbilaran City, Bohol. We have Honey Rose Alcover, no? Honey Rose Alcover, nandito rin po si Honey Rose. Then who else? Yan, no? Then okay, I hope everyone will be able to catch up and join. I personally have texted them earlier this morning and asking them if they could join with us tonight in our session. Glenn Humawad from Dumaguete City, Negros Oriental. We have here Rachel Bracero, the newly promoted supervisor. Then we have here, sino pa ba? Ayun pa, no? So I texted earlier because HBR asked me if possible the coaches will be here and will be able to join and attend. And if you know anybody na hindi pa po nakarating dito na mga coaches, please inform them. Please paki-mention din po sila, please. Paki-mention po sila para they will be able to join with us. As what HBR have shared, and also the BDMs also. If you know anybody na BDM na hindi pa po nakarating dito, please inform them, no? Then we have here Janice Paradiro, no, from Balamban, Cebu, is also joining with us. Sheila Iscasinas from Liluan, Cebu, is also here with us. Jay Marquez is also here with us. Mila Ohena is also here with us. Yes, great, no? Jay Marquez is from Quezon City. Thank you, Jay. No? So I hope if you know anybody na mga coaches po natin at saka mga BDMs na hindi pa po nakarating dito ngayon, please paki-mention them so that they will be able to catch up and be able to also join with us in our discussion for tonight. Then Milbert Taneo is also joining with us here, no? So, Sir Milbert, kumusta ka po dyan? I know na naka-duty ka ngayon. I really appreciate that, no? Kahit naka-duty, naka-tune in pa rin. Okay? So, our topic for tonight actually is we will be talking about, again, it's leadership, but a different kind of leadership that we will be talking about. It's about resiliency. Ang resilient to, ito po yung character on how we are going to overcome challenges in life, no? So later on pag-uusapan po natin 'yan. Si Sheila Iscasinas, dili ka comment sa akong DPPI nga account kay temporarily block. Okay. Padili ka mention sa mga team. Ay, so sad, no? Monique Steven, hello Monique from Bacolod City. Ay, nako. I miss Bacolod. No, I miss Bacolod and how I wish I could go back. Things will really be okay na to travel to Bacolod. I really wanted to visit Bacolod once again. No, so Monique, thank you for joining. No, thank you for joining, Monique. Mary Berdad, the small but terrible from Toledo City, is also joining with us tonight. Kathy Samolde sa Kabangkalan City, Negros Oriental, no? Oriental ba or Occidental? I'm not sure, no? Then ito si Ma'am Cathy, nag-iisang ikaw lang yun doon eh, but hayaan niyo ma'am, pag nakakabiyahe na po tayo, bibisitahin ko po kayo diyan, no? Pag maluwag na po yung mga biyahe-biyahe natin. We will pay you a visit, no? I will pay you a visit there. Ngayon lang kasi medyo yung natin eh, yung mga travel restrictions, and I'm a little bit apprehensive baka mas ma-lockdown ako kung saan man, hindi ako makakabalik, tapos may mga pipirmahan ako na mga dokumento, nako, lago tayo diyan. Everything will really suffer, no? So for the meantime is lang muna, dito lang muna tayo. Okay. So ngayon po ay pag-uusapan natin ang being resilient. No? Alam nyo, importante ang leadership. May mga tao po na nasa leadership role, minsan hindi nila alam na importante pala yung role nila. Minsan hindi rin nila alam na akala nila na ang leadership ay doon lang sa mga nakikita nila na nagiging supervisor, manager, or kaya consultant. Little did we know, na in fact I always na sinasabi ko po to, na ang leadership po ay para po sa ating lahat. By the time na ikaw at ako ay meron ng kahit isang downline, tayo po ay nasa leadership role na. By the time na ikaw at ako ay magkakaroon na ng downline, mayroon na po tayong moral obligation doon po sa mga downline natin, na sila po ay mabigyan natin ng mga information at from time to time sila po ay ating pong magabayan. Now, natatakot tayo minsan na hirangin bilang isang leader. Kasi number one, I am sure na ang takot na yan ay bunga po yan ng tinatawag natin na pag-assume ng responsibility. Natatakot kasi tayo na part of those ay yung responsibilidad ay papasan-pasanin natin. But that's exactly how the world operates. Lahat po tayo ay meron po talagang responsibilidad na papasanin. Nung ikaw ay nag-asawa, may responsibilidad kang pinasan, yung sa pamilya mo, asawa mo, at saka anak mo. Responsibilidad mo sila. Nung nagtrabaho ka, may role or may task na binigay sa'yo, may responsibility ka doon sa mga task at role na binigay sa'yo. Kahit saan po kayo mapupunta, ay meron talagang kaakibat po yan na tinatawag natin na responsibilidad. Ang tao po ay hesitant to assume the leadership role. It's because of that. Yung because ayaw niya ng responsibilidad. Now, gusto kong maiba yung thinking nyo po dito. Gusto kong maiba yung thinking nyo and begin to accept the fact and the reality na meron talagang kaakibat nga responsibility ang bawat isa sa atin. Whether you agree with me or not, and whether you like it or not, lahat po tayo ay meron talagang kaakibat na responsibilidad. No matter how small it is. In fact, even yung mga anak natin, may mga responsibilidad po yan sila sa school nila. May responsibilidad sila sa pag-aaral, sa teacher nila, yung mga assignment. No one is exempted when you talk about being responsible. All of us are bound to have that. No? All of us. When we say all of us, ibig sabihin, wala pong exempted. No one actually can say to himself na, ay hindi, pabanjing-banjing lang ako, bahala na sila dyan. No, hindi po. It is because the reason why we interact with each other, the reason why we make some decisions, the reason why we have some choices, it's because part of that is actually being responsible to whatever choices we make in life. So, kung tatanungin niyo po ako na pwede bang hindi na lang tayo magiging responsable sa mga bagay-bagay, well, the answer actually to that is hindi po pwede. Because that's the sad reality that lahat tayo po ay meron talagang kaakibat na responsibilidad. Mo differ lang nga yung degree. Either ito po ay malaki, mabigat, maliit, or malaki. It doesn't matter. What matters actually is that you and I understood na meron talaga tayong responsibilidad. No? Not until the time na ito po ay i-embrace po natin, we will have a hard time really exercising our leadership role. Hindi lang po sa magandang season sa buhay, kung hindi pati na rin po doon sa mga panahon na may mga krisis. Kaya nga tinawag natin ito ngayon na resilient leadership because sa panahon ng mga krisis sa buhay, doon mas lalo nating kinakailangan ang leadership na role natin. That is where our leadership is greatly displayed and our leadership is greatly exercised. In fact, leadership will greatly determine the possible output of your group, of your organization, or your business, or your family, your church, or whatever it is. Malaking bagay po ang leadership. Kasi yun po ang mag-define Yun po ang mag-define ng possible output natin. If no one will take the leadership role, what will happen to the entire organization? Now, let's take a look at DPPI. No? Let's take a look at DPPI muna bago po natin i-spread out po to. If you perfectly remember last year, 2020, we started the year very well, and in fact, there were a series of travels that we did. In fact, a few of you were able to go with me. Novelin was able to go with me. Cons Lisondra was there. Mel Berdan, Janice Gabito was also with me on travels. Adonis, Carmelita Fuentes, and a lot more. And in fact, we were so excited as the year gets in noong 2020. We were so excited because our goal is to really keep on moving forward and really have to expand all the way. Kasi ang target during that time is actually to really penetrate the entire of Negros, Occidental, and Oriental. So, and even Iloilo City. But again, may biglang nangyari na nagbago sa lahat. Nung in-announce ng government na magkakaroon po ng isang lockdown. Now, I never really expected na ganun talaga ang magnitude ng lockdown. Ang akala ko lang ay malilimit lang po yung paglalabas at tapos siguro hindi din ganun katagal. But little did I know, ang magnitude pala ay sobra. Hindi tayo makakalabas, ang daming restriction, ang daming pulis sa labas. At akala ko na dati 2 linggo lang, umabot ng buwan hanggang natapos ang taon. And things were different. Now, nung time na nag-umpisa ang lockdown, a lot of the businesses actually were closed, except for those essential na mga grocery, pharmacy, at iba pa. But most of the stores were actually closed. In fact, in our industry, in the industry of real estate, we were one of the few na naisira talaga, and the developers were actually closed, and there were no transaction on the early 2 weeks of the business, no? on early 2 weeks of the lockdown. So halos walang transaction, walang negosyo, hindi nakapag-ready ang mga developer. How did I know na hindi po nakapag-ready ang mga developers? Because I was really trying to call a lot of developers, keeping in touch with them, if pwede ba silang mag-PKS sa atin gamit ang Zoom. So I did call. Tumawag po ako. Tumawag ako ng mga developer. Oy, developer, pwede ba kayong mag-PKS, ganito, ganyan, gamit ang Zoom? And you know what? The answer are all no. Hindi nila alam ang Zoom, hindi nila kilala ang Zoom, hindi nila alam paano gamitin ang Zoom. Nobody is using Zoom. Nobody is using Zoom. We were the first who uses Zoom in Cebu industry, in Cebu real estate industry, as far as I know of. And you know what? This is how the Lord had prepared all of us. October of 2019, I already had the subscription for Zoom. May subscription na po ako sa Zoom. Ano pa? October of 2019. Hindi siya nagamit because I did not feel the need. Hindi siya nagamit kasi kala ko walang need. At more so, hindi siya nagamit kasi hindi ko alam paano gamitin. Hindi siya nagamit because honestly, hindi ko alam paano gamitin. So, nandiyan lang siya. Nagbabayad ako month after month. But the bulk of that is actually, the real reason is I don't know how to do it. At bigla ko siyang naalala nung time na nag-lockdown. So, agad-agad, nagpaturo ako doon sa eldest son ko kung paano ba gamitin to, ano to. And yes, na-coach ako, nagpaturo ako. And we made our first dry run with Zoom. So, yun, tinesting ko, nagtry ako. Ayan, sinubukan. Uy, ganito pala. Uy, pwede. So ngayon, the challenge is, nako, okay naman siya, pero ang problema ko, paano ko tuturuan yung mga members na mag-Zoom din sila? So that was the challenge. That was the challenge, and I find it really hard. So I talked to one of them. Paisa-isa. I talked to the consultants, I talked to the few of the members and the leaders and asked them to download Zoom and one by one they've downloaded and one by one they've learned how to operate and lo and behold, everybody knows how to use Zoom. But guess what? Hindi pa masyadong kilala ang Zoom until the time na ang ABS-CBN dati gumamit ng Zoom on their reportings. That was the time that people started to recognize, ay, yan pala yung Zoom. So ngayon, sumunod yung mga developer, we try to tell them, developer, pwede naman kayong mag-Zoom, ganito, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. And for the first 2 weeks of the lockdown, alam mo, wala akong makuha ng PKS. Ang ginawa ko lang, everyday, nagre-recruitment ako everyday. Imagine, Monday to Saturday, ang pinag-uusapan, puro recruitment lang. And there was even a time na yes, may konting mga trainings, mga ganon, but most of the time, it was only purely recruitment. 2 weeks. Sabi ko, nako, nakaka-bored na to. Itong mga agent, minsan hindi na nag-a-attend kasi boring na masyado, puro recruitment na lang. So, there were a lot of challenges. But again, it's up to us how to respond to those challenges. Whether you go beyond it, go above it, or whether you go against it. Now you make a choice. You decide. Because if you're not going to do anything, remember, the entire organization was looking at us. The entire organization, the entire DPPI was looking at me. Kung tuloy pa ba tayo? Tuloy pa ba ang laban, Sir Jove? Oh. Kung sa Bisaya pa, sige pataani, sir. Nandun yung mga tagline na ganon. And I don't have the liberty to show it to everybody that I myself is not ready. Hindi ko pwedeng sabihin sa lahat na, oy guys, hindi tayo ready. I have to be ready in spite of the difficulty that we are all facing. And Juliet did ask me, so ano ba, Jov? What shall we do? Anong gagawin natin? And sabi ko sa kanya, tuloy tayo. Well, nothing will stop. All schedules that we have, tuloy. Walang mabago sa mga schedule. Seminars, trainings, and everything. Tapos unti-unting nagdadagdag. We never canceled any schedules then. Wala tayong kinancel na mga schedule. Patuloy tayo. As planned. Ngayon yung sinabi ko, no, Jul, we already have the schedule for 2020. Tuloy tayo as planned. Pero paano? I don't know. Basta tuloy tayo. I don't know. Basta tuloy tayo. In fact, even in 2020, I keep on announcing the schedule for the summit. Because what I have in mind, nothing will be canceled. Tuloy lahat. Kumbaga, tuloy ang laban. Yun ang nasa mind ko. Tuloy ang laban. Leadership is exactly like that. Now, ikaw ngayon dyan na may downline, you are already called to a leadership position. You are not in the liberty to give up kasi leader ka. You are not in the liberty na not to find any solution kasi leader ka. It is in your shoulder right now to help your organization swing back to where it is right now. And this is the topic that we will be talking about, resilient leadership. And what values and important it is for the entire organization. Now, let's run some few ideas in here. Okay. Now, let's have our objectives clear. Okay? Para tuloy-tuloy po tayo. Let's have our objectives clear. Number one, our objective is to instill sa bawat isang DPPI members and business partners ang important role ng leader sa time of crisis. Na dapat maintindihan ng isang DPPI member at business partner na ikaw ay merong leadership role. So that's the number one objective. Number two, to learn that leadership can be developed. We've got to understand that it is not an inborn gift. It is a developed gift. No? So pwedeng matutunan sa lahat ng mga individuals, no? Sa lahat ng mga tao, and also to be able to understand that it is their responsibility to develop both sa sarili nila, pati na rin po dun sa business partners nila. Yung kung tawagin natin yung mga downlines ninyo. So kung ganun man ang objective, kung ganun man ang perspective, na ang leadership pala ay hindi lang pala ito isang inborn gift, kung hindi ang leadership pala, ito pala ay pwedeng ma-develop, at hindi lang pala ito responsibilidad para dun sa mga downlines natin, kundi para na rin po sa atin. So in short, I don't buy the idea that no one can be a leader. I will buy the idea na lahat po tayo ay pwede pong magiging isang leader. No? Maliwanag po. Lahat po tayo ay pwede na magiging isang leader. Okay? Number three objective. The third objective is to internalize the qualities of being always resilient as a leader and recover from difficulties in times of difficult situation and develop greater self-confidence. Okay, now, in your journey, in our journey, in becoming an entrepreneur, I want you to deeply understand it, that there will be moments of tremendous crisis. And as a leader, you should be resilient in all of those challenges. Meaning yung resilient is you are able to overcome those challenges. And in the process, pag ito po ay nalalagpasan po ninyo, when the next crisis will come, definitely you will be able to gain a lot of confidence in there. So guys, take a look at this. If crises are always a given fact, and leadership is a trait that can be developed, then therefore solved na po tayo sa mga posibleng mga problema na darating. Kasi develop naman, pwede naman tayo palang ma-develop bilang isang leader pala eh. Oh, di ba? So in short, pwede tayong maghanda. Okay? Now let's do a bit of background para we will have a better understanding of where we are coming from. No? Kasi minsan kailangan nating intindihin kung ano po yung nagiging situation. Now last year po, as what I have shared, ang tindi po ng dagok ng COVID-19. In fact, a lot of deaths were experienced by the whole world. Nung dumating po tayo ng 2021, a lot of people were expectant because of the coming of the vaccine. And everyone is so excited to bounce back into the new normal. Na kahit paano po pwedeng makapag-recover. Now, the crucial part here is actually how are we going to sustain everything of what we have started off. Now, di ba, na-share ko sa inyo. We came from 2019 na walang pandemic. Dumating si 2020 na merong pandemic. We have started something way back 2018, 2019. And all of those things are already been calendared sana on 2020. Pero naudlot siya, it's because of the pandemic. Here comes 2021, we partly revisited our objectives way back 2020 and hoping to sustain it all the way now to sa 2021. Pag sinabi po nating sustain, ito po yung the ability to hold on and maintain our members and business partners. Kasi ang business po natin are people. Okay? Ang negosyo po natin are people. Ang real estate po na project, house and lot or condos, they are the product na binibenta po ng members natin. So, in order for us to sustain sa negosyo na meron po tayo ngayon, ikaw, ako, kailangan po nating mag-get hold at ma-maintain po natin ang mga members po natin. That's the reason why last year, 2020, amidst the difficulty in learning Zoom, nag-learn tayo ng Zoom. Bakit ho? Because we believe na kakailanganin natin na ma-sustain ang organization para hindi po ma-scattered ang organization, para hindi po mawala ang organization, so that we can keep everyone intact. Kasi for sure, dahil sa sobrang stress, mapapagod po to sila. Mapapagod, mapufrustrate, ma-discourage, especially kung hindi nila alam kung tutuloy pa ba ang laban na to or hindi na. Especially on the time na nagkaroon po tayo ng announcement on lockdown, everything becomes so uncertain. And everyone in the organization, sa atin DPPI, and everyone in the organization really don't know what to do with the business. Everyone was just looking onto the leader. Lahat po nakatingin sa leader. Ano ba ang sabi ni Sir Joff? Ano ba? Tuloy ba tayo? Ano ba? Ano ba? Ano nga ba? Ano na nga ba? And that would be exactly the same with your downlines. They are looking at you and they are asking to themselves, ano ba upline? Tuloy pa ba tayo? Ano ba upline? Saan na ba tayo? Ano ba upline? Ano bang gagawin? Magla-lockdown na. Paano ng negosyo? And we need to hold them together. We need to keep them together. We need to keep them intact. Because that's the only way we can sustain. That is the only way we can sustain. That is the reason why it breaks my heart. This is the reason why it breaks my heart when I call for a seminar and when I call for a training and you leaders are not there. Because you are the very reason why our downline is here. It breaks my heart that the leaders ang nangunguna na absent sa mga gatherings na ganito. Nasaan na ba si supervisor? Nasaan na ba si manager? Nasaan na ba si consultant? Kailangan mo pang tawagan ng todo-todo. Kailangan mo pang i-text halos 1,000 text para lang mag-attend dito. As what I've shared. All of us, I believe, are occupied on a lot of things. But as a leader, we need to be reminded of what are the things that are important, not just for you, but for your entire organization, for your downlines. Ang problema kasi natin, we think na hindi natin kailangan ang isa't isa. Ang problema kasi natin that we are better off kung mag-solo lang ako. Ay, alam ko na yung sinasabi ni Sir Joff, nakakapagod na yung sinasabi niya. Alam ko na yan. Parati ko nang naririnig yan. And it breaks my heart because your attitude is being copied by your downline. Because you are not attending, your downline is not attending. Just this afternoon, I give you a little share of my experiences of this kind of situation. I called one agent and talked to him. I'm not gonna name him. Tinawagan ko siya and I was asking if he was able to attend seminars, trainings, and whatever. Kung nakapag-join na ba siya in the in our sessions. The sad part is that hindi pa siya nakapag-attend. Ano lang ang na-attendan niya? Recruitment seminar. Yun lang ang na-joinan niya. All the rest, hindi siya naka-attend. And when I trace it, nung na-trace ko po, ang supervisor niya ay hindi rin nag-a-attend. That's exactly the reason why the downline did not attend, because the supervisor did not attend. More so, the manager did not attend, the consultant did not attend. If we will continue like that, we will never be able to hold onto our members together. I cannot do it by myself alone. I need all of you to help me out of this one. I need all of you to help me get hold of all our members. Because that's the only way all of us can sustain these challenges. Now, before I move further, no? Kasi ito yung goal, ito yung role ng to sustain is the ability to hold on and to maintain our members and business partners. Now, I would like to ask, who would like to help me with this one? Sino ba ang gustong tumulong sa akin na ma-hold natin ang mga members natin? Sino po? Can you say yes? Sino po dito ang gustong tumulong? Can you please say yes? Bago po tayo mag-proceed, sino ba ang gustong tumulong? Can you please say yes? So that at least alam ko lang po kung sino po yung gustong tumulong. Because hindi ko kakayanin talaga na ako lang mag-isa. Ayan, nandyan si Mel, si Jessafat, si Janice, si Grace, si Ma'am Pinky. Who else? Sila lang? Si Ma'am Wilda, si Ma'am Renita, Sir Anisito, si Teacher Ophil, si HBR, nandito rin. No, si Roslyn, si Ma'am Grace, Teacher Grace. Who else? Jocelyn, Melbert, Catherine, Maris, Ann, and si Nobilin, Teacher Lorena, Aljon, Maricel, Annabel, no? Si Miss Betchay, Sheila Escasina, si Glenn, si Vicky. The reason why I ask is because it is so important. Hindi ko po kaya isa-isahin kayo. To be frank and honest with you all. Hindi ko po kayang isa-isahin kayo na i-text. Hindi ko po kaya isa-isahin kayo na i-message. But I need you to be responsible enough that if you know that there are things that are important in terms of the degree of learning and learning and trainings, exposures and whatever, please, I need you to help me hold on to the organization. Because lumaki na po yung organization natin. And the bigger it becomes, the harder actually na i-hold siya. And that's the reason why we're pounding so much on the leadership na topic. Because I need you. No, I need all of you to display your role as a leader. Hindi pa tayo matatapos ng COVID, my friends. The cases are rising. Yes, there are vaccines, but that's just on the early stage. There are new variants that are coming. God knows, and I hope it will not go beyond what we have expected right now. Because hindi na natin kakayanin talaga if this will really go even worse. India has escalated their cases to a serious degree. So in this way, we all need each other. We all need each other. That's the reason why kanina I went to Plomera because as much as I want to join all other groups, I cannot slice myself thinly. So pumunta ako sa Plomera na showroom. I visited our agent there that are doing the showroom manning, and I've stayed there a couple of hours because it's part of my agenda for work with. No, and I've been doing a lot of work with over the past 3 or 4 weeks right now. And that's the reason why nakikita nyo po ako on those respective na mga site tours. And I do field coaching there because I believe it's important that we're gonna be connected with each other. And we cannot stop of what we have started. We already have started this one. So kailangan nating i-sustain. So there are a lot of activities every now and then. So to those places na hindi po ako makapunta at hindi po ako makakarating, you will be in a very important position to do that in behalf of the company. To the supervisors, to the managers in various places, you are in the better position to get hold of our people in there. A few weeks ago, I was talking to Mel Berdan, and I'm asking her if she could go to Cagayan de Oro. As much as I wanted to go, but I can't because there are a lot of things that are important in here, so I cannot just go and meet the people there. I asked her if she could go and to meet the people in Cagayan de Oro because I believe that we have a growing number in Cagayan de Oro. But the problem we have in Cagayan de Oro is sa ngayon, hindi pa natin nag-get hold masyado. Yes, may benta na po doon. Yung downline ni Jovi Carrasco na nasa Cagayan de Oro, nakakabenta na. Downline ni Milona, nakakabenta na. Downline ni Teacher Carol, nakakabenta na. But we are actually not banded together. We are so loose. So, because I cannot go there, I need someone to represent me in that place. Because we really need each other. And because I cannot be in Butuan, I asked Teacher Carol together with Teacher Grace, Mamilona, and Pastor Tirso, and this weekend they have their own small gathering in Butuan City. Because I cannot be there, but they are there. And that's how we are going to do it. And since sila man na nandoon, they're going to put up some activity para they can get hold of the people. So this is where we are right now. Ito na po yung challenges na meron tayo. So we've got to be in this boat together. Okay? Now, resilience. Ito, i-define natin yung resilience. No? Ayan, no? In bold letters, in big letters pala, nilagay ko dyan, bounce back. Resilience is the ability to bounce back. So dapat makapag-bounce back tayo, ha? During or after crisis and adversities. Effectively aim for developing within the teams the ability to bounce forward and exist in stability in the midst of crisis or other side of adversity. Resilience is an emotional muscle. Ayan. Kita niyo ng word, ha? Emotional muscle that must be strengthened. So kailangan palang i-strengthen to, ha? To overcome short-term struggles and maintain to offset a lifetime of challenges. So ayan. Ang challenges para lifetime. So in short, struggles are real. Imposible pong walang mga challenges in our journey to becoming an entrepreneur, especially in our industry. But whatever crisis we will be facing, what is important is that we will be able to develop the ability to be able to bounce back para makabalik ba. No? And I think every one of us wanting to bounce back. No? And I believe everyone wanting to bounce back. Kayo ba? Gusto ba ninyong makapag-bounce back? Baka ako lang ang gustong makapag-bounce back. That's why nahihirapan po tayo na makapag-bounce back because it's only me who wanted to bounce back. Now the question, do you want to bounce back? Because if you want to bounce back, you've got to search it within your heart. No? Tingnan mo po dyan sa ilalim ng puso mo kung ano yung pwede mong gawin. So ito po yung resilience, the ability to bounce back. Now, in the ongoing pandemic crisis, very important that we have to maintain our mental health. We have to maintain our sanity. No? Kung matino pa ba itong pag-iisip natin so that it will help us focus on certain things. Alam mo, nung tayo po ay na-lockdown lahat, one of the greatest causes of depression are due to mental health issues. Part of it are brought about by worries, and there are a lot of anxieties that is due to probably worries on finances, worries on probably baka mahawa ng COVID-19, and uncertainties. And because of that, lahat po ng tao during that time cannot help themselves but always keep on thinking of what could possibly happen. Kaya nga ang daming cases of depression on time na meron po tayong lockdown. In trying times, most of the areas that will always be challenged is actually in the areas of our mental health. Yun po ang always na matcha-challenge talaga. In fact, I don't know, I forgot the month. Ma'am Lynette is here. Ma'am Lynette is here. Ma'am Lynette and I, together with Juliet, went out to meet one of our agents. This is a true story. This is exactly what happened way back 2020 in the time na nag-pandemic po tayo. We reached out to one of our agent na I was stunned by what I saw on Facebook. Days before that, things were doing okay as I saw it in the Facebook. But all of a sudden, things have changed. Biglang nagpalit ng profile picture. Bigla siyang nagpalit ng profile picture. And the profile picture is a picture of a man hanging. Nakabitay ho. Is a picture of a man na nakabitay. Hanging. Nagbigti ba? Nagbigti. Is a picture of a man na nagbigti. Can you imagine the picture, the picture? No? It struck me when I saw it. I reached out to a couple of few person we have here in DPPI, and finally we, through the help of Ma'am Lynette, we were able to keep in touch with the person. So we met the person, ako, si Juliet, at si Ma'am Lynette. And talk to the person. And there the story began. It's an accumulation of too much frustrations in life. Ang daming mga frustration na experience niya sa buhay niya. And probably because of the lockdown, one of the reason na nakatalyze yung mga thoughts na yon, tumatayo yung balahibo ko. nung nakita ko yung profile picture sa isang tao na nagbigti. And when I asked the person, that was exactly what is in his in the mind of that person. Yun ang nasa isipan niya na magbigti. And that's exactly a problem of mental health. Is that a rare case? No. Ang dami pong cases na ganyan nung tayo po ay nag-pandemic. So in these trying times, we have to be rich in some of the core values. So may mga core values po na dapat nating tingnan, and we got to strengthen that values. No? Because that will help us fight mental illness. Kasi kung hindi natin ipaglalaban to, nako, malaking problema po to. Because Satan will play everything what is in our mind. Satan will play everything of what is in our mind. Now, let's take a look at what are those values na kailangan po nating i-enrich, no? Kung ano po yung mga values na yon. Okay. REACH actually stands for resilient, integrity, commitment, and humility. So, yung apat po na yan, pag-uusapan po natin yan. Resilient, integrity, commitment, and humility. Most likely, we cannot finish this entire module for tonight. So we're gonna have another session, but I want you to digest everything of what we're going to share and to discuss. I'm not going to take it fast. I'm going to take it slow because what is important is that we will be able to digest it. Yun po yung objective. It's not about finishing a module or finishing a training, but it's about how much we can absorb it. No, yun po yung goal, no? How much we can absorb it. So these are the 4 core values that we're going to take a look at. Very important in order for us to fight on what we are facing right now with COVID-19 pandemic and the challenges that it brought to us. Kasi may mga challenges na binigay ito eh. And in line with this will help us to become a resilient leader. Okay? So let's take a look at resilience. No? From the letter R. Resilience means keeping control of the crisis situation. Handle the problems and understand that life is full of challenges with the ability to handle this. Now, let's take a look at the word control. No? Keeping control of the crisis situation. Sabi ko kanina earlier that one of the constant in our journey being an entrepreneur are challenges and crisis, of course. That's part of the constant. Pag sinabi natin constant, that's part of the normal. Okay? Now, if I may ask, ano ba yung mga ginagawa nyo to control crisis? Can you please type down in the comment section below your ideas kung paano po kayo mag-control ng mga crisis situation sa buhay. Hindi lang sa negosyo, pati sa buhay ho. Para we can get to see some interaction here and I will be able to know your perspective. Kasi baka iba-iba tayo ng perspective eh. I want us to be aligned with our thoughts, with our perspective. Okay? So can you write it down? Sabi ni Ma'am Pinky is be calm, no? So this is her control when there are crisis situation. Be calm. Okay? Who else? Anybody na meron pa pong idea dyan? What is it that you're going to do when you are facing with crisis? or difficult situation. Sabi ni Ma'am Pinky, focus. Okay. Yan, comment ni HBRO, Road to Richness. Pastor Tersus says, pray. No? Become focused, niya, pray. Ma'am Lynette is talk to a friend. Okay? Talk to a friend. Kay Ma'am Betchay, keep busy and with positive thoughts. Okay? I-busy mo yung sarili mo para hindi mo maalala. Para ganun siguro. Kay Vicky, be patient. Okay, be patient. Yan, Ma'am Pinky says, pray. Teacher Ophel, pray, pray, pray. Si Carmelita, pray. Si Judy, prayer. Si Jen is prayer. Number one, that should be pray. Number one, we should pray. The reason why in DPPI, we made our clear stand. We made our clear stand that we are a company that will glorify the Lord. Maliwanag yan right from the very start. We don't compromise that, and we put that right at the forefront of our orientation, that we are a God-fearing company. And we acknowledge that in everything that we are going to face in this company, God is right at the center of it. And that explains well that each and every one of us, when faced with tremendous crisis, prayer will keep things in right perspective. Will keep things in right perspective. Everything else will follow. The wisdom on how to address the crisis will be given unto you when you soak yourself in prayer. You will be guided by God Himself when you subject yourself into prayer. God will speak to you in prayer, confirm it with His word in the Bible. All of the answers to every questions you're going to ask are all written in there. Every problem, there's nothing new in it. The book of Ecclesiastes perfectly says it, that there is nothing new under the sun. Which means, nung sinabi yan na there's nothing new under the sun, ibig sabihin, lahat ng mga nangyayari ngayon ay hindi po to bago. Ibig sabihin, dahil hindi po to bago, may sagot ang Panginoon dyan na nasa Bible po. Kasi life will always be full of challenges. Number one, the reason why na minsan pag may mga krisis natataranta tayo, kasi hindi po tayo nagdadasal. That's exactly the reason why natataranta ka. Bigyan ko kayo ng napakatawa-tawa na example ng matataranta. Okay. Ito medyo nakakatawa pero realidad to. Sino bang nakatry dito na natatakot putulan ng kuryente? Sino? Sinong nakapag-try dito na natatakot maputulan ng kuryente? Kasi ako grabe, tindi ng experience ko dyan. No? Nakatry ba kayo na natatakot kayo maputulan ng kuryente? Abe, gusto ko malaman kung meron, baka ako lang. No? Baka ako lang. Ayan, si Roslyn, si Jocelyn. I believe at a certain point dumaan po tayo sa stage na yan na natatakot maputulan ng kuryente. Ito simple lang na crisis, ha? Now, sa sobrang takot mo na kakabahan ka na maputulan ng kuryente, pag meron kang narinig na may nagmumotor na malapit sa bahay mo, aminin, di ba, titingin ka sa bintana, titingin ka baka ang bahay mo ay putulan. Ganon ba kayo? Pag meron kayong narinig na nagmumotor at alam mong natatakot ka na maputulan ng kuryente, bigla kang pupunta sa bintana at titingnan mo kung saan ba pupunta yung motor? Sa bahay mo ba o sa kapitbahay? Mapapraning ka. Mapapraning ka talaga. As in, mapapraning ka kasi baka pagdating ng gabi, ikaw lang ang brown out. Lahat ay may ilaw. Ikaw brown out, special brown out. Now, you can either have a lot of responses. Pwede kang maratel, pwede kang ma-uneasy, ang dami mong gustong gawin para makahanap ng pangbayad ng kuryente. Ang dami mong gustong gawin. Ang dami mong gustong teksan, gustong tawagan para makahiram ka ng pangbayad ng kuryente. Kung wala ka nang makuha na sagot talaga, kung wala ka nang makuha na sagot kasi lahat ng donona na tapos dumating na ng hapon na alam mo, naku, hapon talaga naman kadalasan nagpuputulan eh. So, yan, kinakabahan na ka. Kung feeling mo na wala ka nang magawa, di ba? Kadalasan, pag feeling mo wala ka nang magawa, that's the time na magpipray ka. Lord, bahala na. Magpipray na lang ako. Bakit kaya ganun? Bakit ang prayer nasa huli? Bakit hindi natin gawin siya sa una, sa umpisa? Kung meron po challenges, may problema po, may mga situation na unexpected na nangyari, bakit tayo ang unang gumagawa ng paraan at it's not wrong na gumagawa tayo ng paraan, but sometimes nararatel po tayo at ang yung last recourse natin ay prayer. Bakit hindi natin baliktarin? Bakit yung first recourse natin ay prayer? Alam mo bakit? Kasi normal instinct ng tao, siya ang gagawa ng paraan. Normal instinct yan. I would suggest let's bring prayer in front sa una talaga. Because when you begin to pray, you will be enlightened. Now, when you begin to pray, you will be enlightened. When you begin to pray, you will be guided. And for all you know, God had prepared the answers for that already. He's just waiting for you to pray so that you will be able to exercise your faith. Yun ang gusto niyang makita. Alam mo, kaibigan, sabi natin, God knows everything, even before you prayed. Pero bakit hinintay kanyang mag-pray? Hindi niyo ba natanong yan? If God knows before you have prayed, bakit kailangan mong mag-pray? It's probably a question, di ba? Kasi God is all-knowing. Alam niya lahat eh. Pero, bakit kailangan mong mag-pray? You know what? Before you utter the word, God knows what you're gonna say. But He waited for you to pray because He wanted to see in your heart if truly you have faith in Him. Because God wanted to see in your heart if truly you have faith in Him. It's all about faith. It's all about faith. Part of being resilient is understanding that there is God up there who knows exactly everything of what's going on. No? Na alam niya lahat ng nangyayari, and He wanted you to exercise that faith by asking Him what needs to be done. Nung sinabi ni Lord, no, I'm not trying to be religious in here, but I just wanted to let you see how does it work. When God says, "Come to me, all of you who are heavily laden, and I will give you rest," it was a simple message that I will take care of the crisis you are in right now. Let me do it for you. It was a message clearly na gustong ipaabot ni Lord sa atin. When He said, "Come to me, all of you who are heavily laden, and I will give you rest." Ang problema, we don't go to Him. That's the reason why medyo mabigat. Okay? So, ngayon nakukuha na natin. That is one way in order for us to be able to control. Everything else follows. Yung mga suggestion nyo na remain focused, being calm, lahat ng mga suggestion nyo po yun, everything will come into a reality provided you have prayed first. So doon tayo mag-uumpisa. So yung mga guidance, mga enlightenment, mga focus, mga calmness, susunod yan after you're gonna be praying. Okay? Integrity. Ito, integrity. Honesty and moral uprightness demonstrated at work in relationship with team members and clients in the business. Now, if you remember, in all of our business orientation, I always use the word that in DPPI, we believe in transparency. Bakit ko always sinasabi yan? That we are transparent. That we allow you to take a look at your commissions. That we allow you to take a look at the vouchers that been generated by the developer. Why? Why we want to be transparent in all of this? Why is it that in our vouchers, every computation is shown? Why? Because we believe in honesty. And when you and I is honest with each other, a certain level of trust is developed. The morale of the entire organization is high. Bakit mataas ang moral ng entire organization? Because everybody is trusting each other. That's why we can get to work amidst the crisis that we are facing. Could you just imagine if we are an organization that don't trust each other? What if I have a client in Butuan and I don't trust the people in Butuan? Whom am I going to call? No one. Can you just imagine if I do have a client in SMDC Manila and I don't trust teacher or Phil to help me out with it? Then who will go there? You see, we will never be able to work efficiently and effectively if perfectly we will not be trusting with each other. And that's the reason why I always say here, never do anything that will cause na magduda ka sa kapwa mo ahente. Never do anything. If the client belongs to that agent, that client belongs to that agent. Huwag mong kunin. Kung nagpapatulong ng kliyente na yan, then by all means help. I remember, Ma'am Pinky during the time was in Australia, and there was a reservation that na ginawa para sa, I don't know what project was that. I think that was Breeze, ano ba yun? Basta Brisa. Basta Brisa. I don't know what's the karugtong. It was a Brisa project from Pryland, and Ma'am Pinky was actually there in Australia. And we have Janice Gabito, which is the BDM for Pryland. Can you just imagine if Ma'am Pinky was in Australia, Janice Gabito, the BDM na nandito po sa Lapu-Lapu City. Yan, Brisa Pam. Thank you, Mel. Na nandito sa Lapu-Lapu City, tapos Ma'am Pinky will not trust Janice Gabito to help in the transaction? Can you just imagine how difficult it is for Ma'am Pinky na nasa Australia? That's exactly the point. In here, alam mo, there's going to be a lot of people that will be coming over to the organization that we don't know. And we are actually exposed to a lot of vulnerability here. Kasi, alam mo, temptation is there. But I want you to know na in DPPI, we keep our morals high. We want to be honest with each other. That's the reason why we ask you. You can check on the developer on the status of your commission. We're not gonna hide it from you. You can check on it. You can look at it. Kasi gusto namin ikaw mismo nakasubaybay dyan. Alam mo bakit? Because that's yours. We present the marketing plan because we want you to be able to roughly can make estimates of how much you're gonna be getting. We show it in the voucher so that you will know how it was been distributed. Bakit kaya sa tingin niyo nagpakapagod si Van na gawin ang voucher na yan na ipapakita lahat ng computation? Why do you think so? Na ginawa natin na ganyan. The reason why we did it that way is because we want to tell you that we're honest to you. We want to tell you that everything is there. Everything is computed the way it's computed, and it is shown in there. That's transparency. No? And transparency builds honesty. In the client side, integrity. Never mess up with your client. Not telling your client of the real score of the transaction that you are going to make with your client. That's gonna be a no-no. Remember this. It only takes one mistake that you're gonna do to your client, and everything else will come crumbling down. Babagsak lahat yan. And in this industry na involved tayo, this is a small industry na eventually pag-uusapan ka. Eventually, malalaman ng mga tao yung mga ginawa mong kabulastugan sa kliyente mo. Be honest to your client. That's the reason why I always told you na before you're going to sell something, please make it sure na hindi podihado ang mga kliyente natin. Huwag basta-basta na magbenta kung hindi man kayo sigurado sa property na binibenta nyo. Why? Because that's important. Integrity. No? Part of integrity is knowing the real score and knowing the truth. That's part of it. No? Knowing the truth. That's part of integrity. And when you are confronted with a scenario with regards to the authenticity doon sa property na or sa subdivision na binibenta nyo, you research, you dig on your story. Do your homework. Go and ask. I told you most of the time in all of our seminar, before you are going to sell, mag-imbestiga. Mag-imbestiga by asking. And ask the right people and ask the right person. Go to the right person, go to the right people, go to the right offices, right agency. Know the answer by yourself. Don't just wait na ikaw ay sinasabihan. Iba yung sinabihan ka tapos pinapaniwalaan mo. Iba po yung ikaw ang naghalungkat at ikaw ang nakakita ng katotohanan. Iba po yun. Kasi yung kung ano yung sinabi sa iyo at pinapaniwalaan mo, ang tawag po doon chismis. At hindi po at kailanman, wala pa po akong experience na ang isang chismis ay totoo. Kadalasan po ang chismis ay may madagdag or may mabawas. What I would suggest is do your own homework and establish the truth. Part of integrity is knowing the truth. Yun po yun. It's part of integrity. That's knowing the truth. Next, commitment. Okay. Commitment here, it says, qualities that demonstrate dedication at work, that inspires and attracts people with convictions and belief in the cause to succeed. Now, there are good words in here, no? Dedication, inspires, attracts. What else? Conviction, belief. These are words. These are good words here, no? Dedication, inspires, attracts, convictions, and belief. Okay. Now let me dissect it for a while. Now, when we talk about commitment, I will draw it in two words. When we talk about commitment, I will draw it in two words. The first word is time. The first word is time. The second word is effort. Now let's go with time first. Okay. The first word is time. When we talk about commitment, I will spell it to you in two words. That's time and effort. Now let's go with time first. Here it is. It says here dedication. When you talk about dedication, it is best displayed with time. Ulitin ko ha. When you talk about dedication, it is best displayed with time. Hindi po kayo makakakita ng isang dedicated na tao na hindi po siya nagbibigay ng oras. Or baka ako lang po ang mali. Itatanong ko po sa inyo. Nakakita na po ba kayo ng tao na dedicated na hindi po nagbigay ng time? Meron po ba? Sino po ba dito na ngayon nanonood po sa atin na makapagsabi na may kilala siya na tao na dedicated pero hindi nagbibigay ng time? Meron po ba? Meron bang tao na magsasabi sa iyo na dedicated siya pero hindi siya nagbibigay ng time? Sabi ni teacher, wala. Sabi ni Mel, haha. Sabi ni Jocelyn, wala. Ni Jen, wala. You see, when you are dedicated, when you are truly dedicated, you're gonna spend with time. Now, alam nyo guys, I can only name one example in my entire Pepsi-Cola career. Now, in my entire Pepsi-Cola career, I can only cite one person that displays the word dedication to the max. Isang person lang. Isang person lang sa entire 5-year stay ko po sa Pepsi-Cola, I only know of one person personally. No, I know of one person. Ang iba, may naririnig ako na ganun sila, ganyan, pero I know of one person only that displays dedication to the max. Alam mo kung sino? Si HBR. Si HBR. He's the man who displays dedication to the max, to the highest level. Yan, si Sir Boy. Si HBR. Si Sir Boy. Naalala ko ito dati. This is a true story, ha? Pero Hindi to alam ni HBR, pero ngayon malalaman na to niya. I was assigned in Tagbilaran as a TM, no, territory manager, hindi pa SM, as a TM. And that was November, this was November 1, no, November 1. Ang October ba? Hanggang 30 lang ba? No? 30 lang siguro, no? Because November 1 is the birthday of Rowie. So, November 1 was the birthday of Rowie. October 30, pinark ko po yung kotse ko sa Tubigon Port and I cross Cebu. Sumakay po ako pabalik sa Cebu. Starcraft yon. Iniwan ko yung kotse ko sa Tubigon Port at umuwi ako kasi birthday ni Rowie on November 1. Birthday ni Rowie November 1. Now, if my memory served me right, meron akong event on November 1 para doon sa mga sementeryo kasi party po yun ng programa namin, may sementeryo. Tapos, ang nangyari ho, syempre nakauwi ako 30 Nakauwi ako 30. So I was thinking na si Sir Boy umuwi na rin ng Cebu. I was thinking na umuwi na rin siya ng Cebu on that day. So hindi na ako nagtatanong kasi hindi ko na maugali talagang magtatanong sa bodega if nakauwi na ba si Sir Boy or wala. I don't usually do that. So I made a choice. I made a decision na umuwi ako. So iniwan ko yung sasakyan. So ngayon, kinabukasan na November 1. So ngayon, tumawag si Sir Boy. Mga alas 9 ata yun. If I'm not mistaken, 9 or 10 siguro. No? Tumawag siya. Nagtanong with regards doon sa nakaschedule na special event. So sinagot ko, yan, ganyan, in-explain ko. Tapos, may nasabi siya sa akin na, sige, I'll drop by. Muhapit lang niya ako diha, Joff. Bigla akong kinabahan. Naku, dadaan si Sir Boy. Nandito ako sa Lapu-Lapu. 9 o'clock, tapos dadaan siya inighapon. So, nag-isip agad ako. Wala nang isip-isip. Kuha ng bag, kinuha ko yung laptop ko, diretso, nagpapahatid ako sa Pier 3, all the way pa Tubigon kasi nandun yung kotse ko. Sumakay ako, after an hour, kasi Starcraft, 1 hour lang, after 1 hour, nakarating ako ng Tubigon, Bohol, nasa kotse na ako. Sabi ko, if tatawag ulit si Sir Boy, sasabihin ko na lang na nasa Tubigon Cemetery ako. Kung hindi pa ako makakaabot ng Tagbilaran, at least nasa Bohol na ako. Ayan, si Maricel tumawa kasi alam niya mga TM niya sa Steam staff, ganun dati. But commitment was displayed by this man, grabe. Kahit Pasko, nasa sales office yan. Sabi ni Maricel, TM excuses. Pero dedication will always be displayed with time. Never tell me na dedicated ka sa negosyo na to kung ikaw mismo ay ayaw mong magbigay ng oras. Marami sa atin dito nag-subscribe ng Lamudi. Committed na mag-subscribe ng Lamudi pero ayaw mag-post sa Lamudi. Then where is commitment there? Marami sa atin dito gustong makabenta pero kung sabihan mo na mag-aral ka ng Facebook ads, ayaw. Parati ang tanong, sir, paano ba gawin ang Facebook ads? Yon, bigyan mo ng link para mag-enroll, para matutunan, para may makapag-tutor. Ayaw. It's always like that. nag-enroll sa Lamode, ngayon ay hindi na magpapatuloy kasi ang reason, walang inquiry. Paano magkakaroon ng inquiry? Walang laman. And how will you explain those people, ayan, nandito si Teacher Sharon, how will you explain those people na nakabenta sa Lamode, spot cash pa nga, nandyan si Judy, spot cash, at sasabihin mo sa akin na ang Lamode mo ang may kasalanan, bakit walang inquiry? Hello? Bakit di mo nilagyan? Bakit hindi mo nilagyan ng project para magkaroon ka ng inquiry? Bakit hindi ka mag-aral ng Facebook ads? May tutor naman tayo, ang gagawin mo lang mag-enroll ka, ayaw. Pero sasabihin mo na gusto mo para magkaroon ka ng commitment? No. Show it first. You've got to give the time. Mag-enroll ka, pag-aralan mo, spend time listening to it, doing it over and over again para makuha mo, makapture mo yung idea. Ayan, si Vicky Padilla. 2 clients in Lamudi na ang nabenta. Bakit nakabenta siya? Kasi ang Lamudi ni Vicky Padilla may laman. Bakit ikaw wala kang benta? Kasi ang Lamudi mo walang laman. Bakit mo iasa sa ibang tao na ang responsibilidad ay supposedly sa iyo? Gusto mo ang ibang tao mag-post para sa iyo tapos ikaw ang tatanggap ng komisyon? Pwede ba 'yon? Kasi kung gusto mong ma-maximize ang Lamudi mo, punuin mo. Punuin mo yung 30 listings mo, yung my property mo, punuin mo ng 30 listings mo. By then, you are going to enjoy inquiries. 1 year ang subscription, 1 year ang labanan. Hindi labanan 1 day, 1 week, 2 weeks. Ang labanan 1 year. That's the reason why I said when you talk about dedication, that is always spelled with time. Inspire and attract. Inspiration and attraction is a product of your dedication. When people see a dedicated person na true talaga, na dedicated person, ma-inspire siya tingnan ang buhay niya. It will attract, susundin niya ang gagawin niya. Now, let me give you some example. Novelin Alcober is here. Para at least alam ko lang. Sino bang hindi nakakakilala kay Novelin Alcober? Meron bang hindi kilala si Miss Novelin Alcober? Sino ba dito ang hindi nakakakilala kay Novelin Alcober? Para at least we will know. Who is here na hindi po kilala si Novelin Alcober? Which is wala. Meaning lahat tayo kilala. Okay. Now, when Novelin made a historic sale last year of 181 million, halos nung na-post po yan, halos lahat ng member ng DPPI ang sabi, sana all. Diba? Halos lahat ng member ng DPPI ang sabi, sana all. Sana all. Everyone was inspired by what Novelin had achieved. Everyone is attracted to her na halos pag etong bata na to ang nag-arrange ng mga site tour and PKS, ang daming sumusunod. Alam mo paano ko nalaman yan na ang daming sumusunod? Ito, bigyan ko kayo ng clear example. Okay? Before ho, just this month lang, nag-arrange po ako ng PKS sa King's Property. King's Property ba? Yung binisita nila Novelin last Thursday. Nag-arrange po ako ng PKS and showroom visit sa King's Properties. So 1 week ko po yun na, more than a week actually, 2 weeks na binobroadcast ko sa mga group chats. You know what? Sa awa ng Diyos, pagdating ng araw na mag-showroom visit na, apat lang kami. Tama ba, Maricel? Apat lang ba tayo? Apat lang ba yun, Maricel? Ako, si Dayan, yung youngest daughter ko, si Maricel, at saka yung isa, downline ni Rowella. Apat. Apat lang. Nasasayangan ako, si Sir Max pala, Sir Max. Tama, Maricel. Thank you, Maricel, Sir Max. Nasasayangan ako kasi maganda yung project nila at may coming new project sila. So, nakita kami ni Noveline sa Avida. I asked her, Nobs, pwede arrange mo sa King's Properties? Kasi sayang hindi nila marinig. Napakagandang project. Everyone is magneted to the invitation. And it's been proven. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we call inspiration. Yun po ang tawag natin sa inspiration. People is inspired to follow people that are dedicated. No? People are inspired to follow to people that are dedicated. Alam mo, every time na meron itong sighter, and I frankly really appreciate it, and I'm very thankful for Noveline. Every time na nag-a-arrange po ito ng mga sighter and PKS, people from different groups comes. People from different groups comes. That's the power of dedication. It inspires people. It attracts people. Now, ito po, no? Ito po yung i-share ko sa inyo. To the managers at to the supervisors, managers and consultants that are listening today. Let your dedication be seen by your people. Because if they will see it, they will be attracted to you. They will go with you. They will attend PKS. They will attend site tour. They will attend training. Why? Because they see in you the true meaning of dedication. And it inspires them. Model. That's the reason why I always say, the problem, I'll be honest with you, the problem we have right now with DPPI is that our coaches never dares to value our trainings and seminars and all other activities. That's the reason why our coaches are not attending those trainings and seminars. When I say coaches, these are the supervisors, managers, and consultants. There are 42 supervisors. There are 10 managers. There are 19 consultants. Believe me, only a few that is here tonight. Because the number of attendance is only 66, all of our coaches is around 97. So only a handful of coaches are here. And if you think that's not a problem, well, that is a problem. Because it means that we don't get hold of our organization that well. And I need you to help me out with that. It always begins with the coaches. You will play a very important role in here, coaches. Itong word na commitment na pinag-usapan natin, you will play a very important role. The next word with the word commitment, so sabi ko kanina kasi time, ang isa is effort. When a person that is committed truly Mag-i-effort yan. Alam mo saan makikita yan? It will be displayed through his convictions. Lahat ng mga gagawin niya, lahat ng trabaho na gagawin niya para sa grupo niya will be displayed dun sa conviction na meron siya sa negosyo na hinahandle niya. He will be convicted in all the tasks na meron siya. Ang conviction ay magtutulak sa iyo na mag-attend ng seminar, mag-attend ng training, mag-attend ng PKS, mag-attend ng site tour. Ang conviction na yan ang magtutulak sa iyo na gawin ang dapat mong gawin. Magpo-post sa Facebook, mag-aaral ng Facebook ad, magpo-posting ng Lamudi, magpa-posting ng Property 24. Lahat po na yan is drawn by the conviction that you have, and it will manifest doon sa mga action na gagawin mo. That's the reason why when we talk about commitment, it can only be spelled in two words: time and effort. Look it up in a relationship. Now look it up in a relationship. No relationship that would really flourish if no one will give time and no one will give the effort. In order for the relationship of spouses to work, both of them, the husband and the wife, needs to spend time together. And in the process of doing so, both of them needs to exert the same degree of effort in order for the intention of pleasing each other. That's what makes relationship grow. And that's exactly the same with business. If you want things to really grow, you've got to put in the needed time and effort. And that is commitment. Now tell me, after hearing tonight, would you still be committed to the business? Now, after hearing the discussion tonight, would you still be committed to the business? Because with commitment, I cannot do that for you. You've got to do it yourself. Commitment is something that cannot be given, but something that you yourself should decide to have. In DPPI, I am very particular with time. In DPPI, I am very particular with time. The reason why I am particular with time is because discipline is displayed in how you give the time. Punctuality is very important because it perfectly defines your commitment. Because when you are committed to someone, when you plan to meet with that someone, you cannot afford to be late. Diba? Diba in a relationship? In a relationship, kung makipag-date ka sa boyfriend mo or girlfriend mo or spouse mo, or sabihin na lang natin, boyfriend, girlfriend pa lang. Kasi ito yung medyo mainit-init eh. Kung makipag-date ka sa boyfriend or girlfriend, di ba hindi ka naman darating na late eh. You will go there ahead of time. You will be more than punctual. You will arrive ahead of time. Di ba? Bakit ahead of time ka makakarating doon sa date nyo? Because you're excited. Because you wanted to be with the person. Because you're committed to the person. That's why you're going to arrive on time. bakit hindi natin ma-equate dun sa word na commitment na yan when it comes to doing the business? What difference does it make? Ano bang diferensya? Nothing. It's the same. That's the reason why in DPPI, if you notice it, we are very particular with time. When we say it's 8 o'clock, it's 8 o'clock. When we say it's 9:45, it's 9:45. Why? Because we want to deliver a strong message that we are serious in what we're doing. Ulitin ko ha? Because we want to deliver a strong message that we are committed to what we are doing. Now tell me, if you say you are committed to your group, to your people, to your downline, would you be willing to give time and effort? Because that's the only way. Next. Next is humility. Humility. So, nakaapat na tayo, no? Resilience, integrity, C is for commitment. Now, H is for humility. It says here, humbleness in the midst of achieving successes. Earlier in life, before I went into the full-time ministry, before I had a chance to start a church, to start a fellowship, humility is one of the greatest struggles I have. One of the greatest struggles I have. And for those people who have been with me or with us, with me and Juliet earlier in the business, can perfectly attest that I do have problem with humility. I'm not the type of person that readily accepts I'm wrong, and I'm not the type of person that readily submits to authority. Yes, I do submit, but it will be a struggle inside. But the Lord have dealt with it accordingly. The Lord have dealt with it accordingly. Not one time, but in a lot of cases, and a lot of situations. In fact, God had really broke me. You know what? God really has to break us in order to mold us into a new person. And I believe in that. God really does the breaking. And for those people who have been serving the Lord in here, perfectly understand what I'm saying about breaking. And God truly have break me. And I would say na it did break me into pieces until I finally understand the word humility. Until I finally understand the word humility. Now, never mix up the word humility with confidence, because it's two different words and it's two different meaning, actually. You can be confident, but at the same time being humble. Humility is more of character that displays meekness. Okay. Ulitin ko ha. Humility is more of a character that displays weakness. The opposite of that is actually pride, which is most likely displayed with arrogance. So humility displayed with meekness. The opposite with that is pride, which is most likely to be displayed with arrogance. And that's exactly the struggles that I have. even when I was doing the business and at the same time in the church, to the point that the leaders of the church really has to, discipline me. And I was being disciplined quite a time also. No, I was being disciplined in the church quite a time. It was on those discipline and those breaking that I began to fully understand the word humility little by little. I'm not saying that I'm in that already, but I believe those people na nakasama ko 4 years, 5 years ago, most likely makikita nila ang difference. Who am I 5 years ago and who am I right now, as they have shared with me in my leadership. Pero lahat tayo merong mga ganon. Lahat tayo ay merong ganong mga flaws, actually. No one actually could ever say that truly a person is perfect. No one. And don't ever think that all of us are magaling. No, it's not also. We all have flaws. But in our meekness, in the moment, in the greatest and the downest moments of our lives, accepting the fact of what is there needs to be accepted. Either you're right or wrong. But the process of doing it is actually a display of humility, humbleness. The reason why it is important, especially in our organization, is because we believe that in DPPI, truly our greatness can be displayed in our humbleness. We don't have to brag to whatever things we have. We don't have to brag whatever things that we know. We don't have to brag what is it that we are capable of doing. But whatever things we have here inside the company, we gladly share it to everybody. In fact, and I believe most of you have experienced it, now there are even agents coming from other realty firm who sometimes ask questions sa atin with regards to certain projects. And as long as the agent is honest enough to tell the truth that he is an agent, we are glad and more than willing to share. And that's most of the time we are also always hurt because sometimes lulukuhin lang kasi tayo kasi mabait tayo. No? But again, I always believe also that no one can put a good man down. As in no one. No one can put a good man down. Climbing the ladder of success could be sometimes very tempting na hindi mo maiwasan pwedeng lumaki ang ulo mo. You could be proud of yourself and be arrogant with it. Ay, consultant na ako. Hindi ko na kailangan ng mga training na yan. Nagsasayang lang akong oras dyan makikinig kay Sir Joff. Hindi ko na kailangan yan. Consultant na kaya ako. Supervisor na kaya ako. Narinig ko na lahat yan. Alam ko na yan. Manager na kaya ako. Hindi ko na kailangan yan. Be careful with that. Be careful with that mentality. Because I want you to know, diyan bumagsak si Lucifer. Ulitin ko ha. Be careful of that mentality. Kasi diyan bumagsak si Lucifer. Akala niya, alam na niya lahat. Akala niya, he could be more than God. Kaya anong nangyari? Nasaan na ngayon siya? Ay, nasa ilalim ng lupa. So be careful with that. To help us sustain into the crisis that we are facing, we need to be rich in these values: resilience, integrity, commitment, and humility. And I'll end with this one here. I will I will share and deliver to you the message clear. In order for us to fight in this crisis, I cannot do it alone. I cannot hold our members together alone. I need all of you to be one with me in here. And we will begin it with you, coaches, supervisors, managers, and consultants. And if you are going to ask me, what's the greatest problem that we are facing right now? I will be honest with you. Our coaches believes that they don't need the training anymore. Our supervisor, manager, and consultants believes that it is useless ang mga trainings and seminars, mga PKS na gaya nito. That is the reason why our supervisors, managers, and consultants are not attending trainings anymore. It would be in a matter of time if we are not going to change that character. If we are not going to change that character, it would only be in a matter of time before we are going to collapse. No one already believes on the principles of what we have in place right from the very beginning. This is important, my friends. This is important. That's the reason why trainings are done in the evening, if you notice it. All in the afternoon are just PKS, but most of the trainings are done in the evening. I believe there are no clients in the evening that you're going to go out. But we need to reshape it because our people down the line, they are looking unto us. Ang mga downline natin, kailangan nilang makita na nandito tayo para susundin nila. Let's help it out. Because if you notice it, our new people, our new agents that attends to us every week are not attending seminars and training. You know why? Because the leaders are not there. The layers are 3 layers: supervisors, managers, and consultants. There are times that the whole line is not there. Every single month, we have an average recruitment of around 350. That's our average number of recruits every month. And in that number, we don't even hit 1% of those new agents that able to attend. Not even 1%. And I can only attribute it for people carrying people. Kinakadi ba? Kinakadi. So not until we do that, we go back to the very basic, not until we do that, it would only be in a matter of time before the entire organization will collapse. That's why we need to address it as early as today. We need to address it. Because it's already starting to eat us up. So this one, if it spreads, well, that would be a problem. My friends, we have done so much already to build this organization to where it is right now. let's let's strengthen the grip. No, let's strengthen the grip so that we will not be able to lose what we have started. So we will strengthen the grip, no? Kumbaga, hawak ng todo. And by then, we can bounce back. We can truly say bounce back. Yes, we have the sale. I can see that. We have the sale. Pero that's only superficial. The sale that we are experiencing right now, that's on the surface level. You know why? Because the new breed down the line are no longer attending the needed trainings and seminars. Mind and heart is so important. The skills training is just only a fraction of the entirety of the program. Ulitin ko ha, yung skills training is only a fraction of the entirety of the total program. If we truly wanted to have entrepreneurs in the entire organization, there are only two things that we're going to do. We keep sharpening our mind, and in the process, we're going to be strengthening our hearts. Sharpen the mind, strengthen the heart. Sharpen the mind, strengthen the heart. That's where we are going to put the grip. So I hope to the coaches, bounce back. Your downline is looking for you. Your downline is looking for you. The sheep identifies the voice of the shepherd. You are their shepherd. Kayo mga coaches, you are their shepherd. And your sheep identifies the voice of the shepherd. Remember that. I can tell them, I can invite them to attend, but it's different when the shepherd commands the sheep. So you are the shepherd. He is waiting for your voice. He's waiting for your voice. Let's do it together. Let's do it together. Kumbaga, the bounce back na journey has just begun. The bounce back journey has just begun. We've got 42 supervisors on the ground. If each of these supervisors will start sharing their commands to their teams, I believe that it will have the strength. And we can truly bounce back. The sales that we have right now are superficial sale. It's not a sustainable sale. We need to make it sustainable. It can only be sustainable when there are more people making a sale. Remember ha, kung ang mga tao na nakakabenta ay paulit-ulit lang na eto lang sila lang ang nakakabenta, hindi po yan stable. Dapat maraming tao na nakakabenta doon sa grupo mo. That will be stable. Kasi pag eto lang sila ang nakakabenta, hindi po yan stable. Remember that. Hindi yan stable. Dapat maraming tao sa downline mo ang nakakabenta. Yan ang stable. No? Yan ang stable. So thank you, my friends, no, for joining with us tonight. And I hope na we're gonna get to see each other in the next Tara na is TGIF na. This would be a quite a longer series, no, on on the topic on resilient leadership. And I hope na this would be a mind awakening para po sa atin lahat, no? It would be a mind awakening po para sa atin lahat. We've got a mission to do. We are here to impact other people's lives. The people down your line is a person brought to you by God so that you will be able to impact their lives. So let's start impacting their lives. No? Let's start impacting their lives. When we impact their lives, blessings just simply comes to follow. No? Thank you very much. Enjoy the night. Tomorrow morning, if you do have some recruits, it's 9:45 in the morning. By the way, inform them that we start on time. I suggest let them come in 30 minutes of the time because ang Zoom natin ay bukas na po 30 minutes ahead of time. So please, let them come earlier kasi pag hindi po sila darating earlier, hindi po nila masyadong maintindihan. We will not doing, by the way, lahat ng training, we are doing it in FB Live, but except for recruitment. Because of confidentiality purposes, we cannot do it on the open public social media platform. So it will remain in the Zoom. All others will going to shift it into FB Live so that everyone will have a greater access. And if you have a hard time with your connection, by the way, I personally suggest use dito. Ako po in my data ko po sa cellphone, I am already using dito na po ang gamit ko. Okay? Malakas po. Truly ano talaga siya? Malakas talaga siya, no? And I appreciate it when I am outside with dito. So if you are in Cebu, it's available in SM, so please you can go there. So ano siya, sulit, no? 25 GB. Hindi lang niyo mabakuan, no? So use dito. If you are in Mindanao, I believe there are dito available also in the area, no? It will really help you. Don't change your number kung saan po kayo makontak, but yung data lang na ang gamit niyo po ay dito na. So in short, dito lang talaga ang malakas. Julian is I think using dito already, no? So if you have problems with connection, magdito na kayo. Okay? So thank you and hope to see you one of these days, no? Pag medyo nakakaluwag-luwag na tayo. Thank you and God bless you all. Bye-bye!